Granted, most of those times he wrestles in TNA, he loses. I think there's only one time I know of that Ric Flair actually won. Against Jay Lethal. That was the only win I can actually remember that Ric Flair has. But now he's, it was one thing a few years ago when JBL called himself a wrestling god. Ric Flair has went from calling himself a wrestling god to God. I'm a Christian. That doesn't really set well with me. But, a lot of wrestling fans, I get it, aren't Christians. I can't just look at it from the religious aspect. Granted, there's probably a lot of fans upset with TNA for Ric Flair saying this, or upset with Ric Flair. I don't really think Ric Flair cares, to be honest, with fans' opinions of it. It's just developing his heel character. But, if Ric Flair was God, how come he always loses? With that said, he had a match against Matt Morgan this last Thursday. Fortune tried getting involved, and Douglas Williams stepped out and attacked Fortune. Matt Morgan won the match, with the stipulation stated that if Ric Flair beat Matt Morgan will not face Jeff Hardy at Final Resolution. But if Matt Morgan beats Ric Flair, Matt Morgan would decide the special guest referee for his match against Jeff Hardy. Of course, Matt Morgan won. Sorry, I told you guys last week it was a tables, ladders, and chairs match at Final Resolution. I guess it's not. I guess it was just hype that they gave that led to nothing. But Matt Morgan's deciding the special referee. Who's he going to pick? I'm thinking right now it's going to be Douglas Williams. I, however, do not count on Douglas Williams to be an effective face. I don't trust him yet. I think, with especially being involved with Ric Flair's faction, that he could, if he is a special referee, I could very well see him turning on Matt Morgan and Jeff Hardy still retaining the title. Which, by the way, he has that new World Championship now. That's a title, that specific belt, I can only see Jeff Hardy wearing. It's the black and purple colors. I don't really see somebody of Matt Morgan or Abyss or Samoa Joe or Kurt Angle wanting to wear a title that's black, purple, and silver. Especially silver and purple. That's Jeff Hardy, the charismatic enigma who has the creatures of the night. That's all Jeff Hardy right there. So who knows? That's my opinion. Title looks decent. It doesn't really look like a wrestling belt, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe a lot of other people view it differently. Now, with that said, going back to WWE a little bit, Survivor Series was great. I remember last week I was telling you I thought John Morrison and Sheamus would be the match to watch, and, really they didn't disappoint. I was a little surprised to see John Morrison win, especially because he did not win from Starship Pain or even like the Moonlight Drive. He won by some sort of kick, so it wasn't a roll-up. Sheamus was down for the 3 count, It was good. It was not the best match of the night. Action-wise, if you wanted to see the best match of the night, you had to look at Kaval versus Dolph Ziggler. Kaval even broke Dolph Ziggler's nose in that match, we're pretty sure. It was a brutal kick, and Dolph Ziggler ended up being the victor. Otherwise, entertainment-wise, plus decent action, I would say the 10-man Classic Survivor Series elimination match was the match of the night. It was the Big Show, Rey Mysterio, Kofi Kingston, MVP, and Chris Masters versus Alberto Del Rio's team of himself, Jack Swagger, Dashing Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre, and Tyler Rex. Rey Mysterio and Big Show were the sole survivors. Alberto Del Rio was technically never eliminated, but that was the moment of the night when he was knocked out by the Big Show. If you haven't seen it, find it on YouTube, find it on WWE.com. That was priceless, that knockout, just with everything that built up to it. On to the Superstar of the Week, though. There's been some great stars. You think of The Miz. Shannon Moore took Abyss to the limit in the casket match, threw everybody off guard a little bit, and didn't lose because, of course, the Pope came in. The standout star of the week this week, I would say, would have to be Kaval, though. Getting his first win last Friday on Friday Night SmackDown against Dolph Ziggler, cashing in his right for a title shot at a pay-per-view, a Survivor Series against Dolph Ziggler, and yeah, Dolph Ziggler barely won. It's a good match. Definitely one of the top 2 matches of the night. Kaval, I see him now, he's going to be used a lot better in WWE than he was in TNA, which usually you would find the opposite. Kaval is exciting to watch, and I'm excited to see what they have going on from here. The best diva of the week, or the women wrestler, when it comes to all the knockouts in TNA and all the divas in WWE, the one that sticks out in my mind as a viewer would actually be Beth Phoenix. Survivor Series saw Natalya beating Lay Cool for the Unified Divas Championship. Lay Cool attacked her afterwards. It was a return of Beth Phoenix. For some reason, I wasn't expecting that. I knew somebody was going to come out, but when Beth Phoenix music played, that was honestly, it wasn't something I was expecting. I was thinking maybe Kelly. Beth Phoenix is back, clearly showing that she's on Natalya's side, which, she ended when she was injured. She was in a rivalry with Lay Cool as it was, so it was fitting. Beth Phoenix is back. She's back on SmackDown. I'm excited to see what they're going to do with her and Lay Cool. She would be the diva of the week, in my opinion. Kaval and Beth Phoenix are the the stars of the week. But I'm John. Thanks for watching my videos again this week. I hope you learned something maybe if you didn't get to see wrestling this week. It was a great week in wrestling, and hopefully I'll see you guys back next week. Thank you.